Youts, Nuch Abti, Haisliduch Nugwa. Hello, I'm called Ab, and I'm Haisla. I wanted to watch a video from the CBC News YouTube channel called Learn How to Pronounce These Indigenous Phrases. So I have not watched this video before. I don't know what phrases are going to be spoken. I have no idea what languages are going to be spoken. I'm going to see if I can pronounce these accurately based on what I know of the indigenous languages that I have been studying. So let's give this a try.
Hi, my name's Ted Cadwallader. I'm a Tlingit descendant from a Kwagils village, and I live on Hul'qumi'num speaking territory on southern Vancouver Island. The word I want to teach you today is in Hul'qumi'num, and it's a phrase. It's quam quam tun squalawan.
So I'm going to give that a try. Quam quam tun squalawam. Quam quam tun squalawam. Squalawan. Okay. Back to the video.
Quam quam tun squalawan.
Quam quam tun squalawan.
It's sometimes translated as strong heart and strong mind, but one of our elders in Snanemoch, Jerry Brown, said his mom said, it means when your heart and your mind start working together. So it can't really be translated to English. And it's important that you know that, because you know that feeling when your mind is working really well, and you know that feeling when your heart is working really well. But when everything comes together in Quam Quam Punchqualawan, that's the moment where we get great works of art and music and literature and love, and all things are possible. So Quam Quam Punchqualawan.
Okay, so I'll try one more time. Quam quam tun squalawan. And that is Hul'qumi'num. That's from the Hul'qumi'num language.
Thanks very much, everybody.
Aisquale, and the Kukulenok Tanat, my traditional name, Tanitan at Cooksaila. I'm here at Cooksaila. I'm Dolly Sylvester. I'm here at Cooksaila Reserve. And the word that I wanted to teach you today is ha-ha-smanam.
Ha-ha-smanam.
It's ha-ha-smanam.
Ha-ha-smanam.
I usually say it 3 times. Ha-ha-smanam.
Ha-ha-smanam.
Ha-ha-smanam. That means our sacred children. You know, I bring that word out because of we're always working towards our children, our ha-ha-smanam. We're always looking out for them, everyone, the board office, the staff, the teachers, and that's very important, for everyone to know that how sacred our children are. Every children are sacred. So it's ha-ha-smanam.
Okay, so I'm not just listening to the phrases, I'm also looking at the spelling. So it looks like the X that they're using is h, and we have a sound like that in the Haisla language, but it's an X with a bar over it. So I'm very familiar with that sound, ha, 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 smanam, and that EEM is am in Hul'qumi'num. That's what I'm gathering from the spelling. So let's watch more.
Ajechwa Kusin Athnan Tawach Tishosam. Hello, my name is Kusin, and I am from the Shaaman First Nation. My people speak Ayajutham, and the word I want to teach you today is Jeje.
Jeje.
Jeje is your relative, and it's your relation. It can be your cousin or your auntie, but Jeje also translates to tree. And this word is important because it's the beginning of learning a new worldview when you're relearning your language.
Okay, just quickly. I recognize this symbol here. It looks like a kind of a curly E, like an uppercase E, but it's smaller and curly. This is from the International Phonetic Alphabet, and it's called an epsilon. It's actually also from the Greek alphabet. And in IPA, it says E. And in the Haisla language, we use an A and an I. So words like ne, which means snow on the ground, or me, as in what did you say, or lalagwade, they would be spelled with an AI, whereas in this language, they use this epsilon symbol. Cheche.
It's important for me to be on the language team, and it's important for others to join me on the language team, because this is the heartbeat of our nation, and this is the beginning of going back to how things were before. And when we relearn our language, we understand ourselves so much more. So, Jeje.
Cheche.
Thank you.
Yo, Bila Kasla.
Okay, I can tell you right away, this is Kwakwala, which I understand a little bit of. She said, yo, wiksas, and that means, hello, how are you?
Nugo am Ikiawegi Lauk.
Nuguam ikwi, I'm not sure what she said there, but Nuguam basically means like, I am.
Gyaitlin Lacha Quagyut.
Gyayutlin lacha kwagyuth, so she's from Fort Rupert. Gyayutlin means I come from or I originate from.
Namris, Mamalilikla, Glut Muskatmarkzawa Denoch.
So she listed a few other places where she originates from. So Namgais is Namgais. I'm blanking on the Alurpe. That's what it is. Namgais, Alurpe, and I didn't quite catch the other two that she said.
My name is Deanna Nicholson, and I come from the Kwakwakiwak Nation. I would like for you all to learn this word in my Kwakwala language. Kwakwalalats.
Kwakwalalats. Kwakwalalas. Oops. So I'm looking, there's an apostrophe after the S, so that is a glottal stop. So what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to imitate what she's saying, but I keep kind of forgetting that apostrophe there. So it's kwakwalalas. Kwakwalalas. So there should be a little kind of a brief stop before the S, a little pause before the S.
Kwa la las.
Yeah, so that's the proper way to pronounce it. That's what I was trying to say. So kwakwalalas. Kwakwalalas.
Kwakwalalats means say it in Kwakwala. And it's really important to learn because us Kwakwakiwak are still here. Get menochlach gada. Qila Kasla, thank you for learning.
Ukwaklaksuwich, ukwakis chakuba, ditid aksips, iach tukshits kluus, tsix diadited. Hello everybody, my name is Chakuba. I am a DT Dot woman. I come from Kluus. I speak the DT Dot language. One of the phrases that I would like everybody to learn is Uhwa Kluk. Is that you? That is our common greeting for hello. Uhwa Kluk.
Uhwa tlach. Oops, that's the Haisla pronunciation coming out. In Haisla, when we have a K at the end of a word, we actually pronounce it as an X, which is ch. So that was my mistake. This is a K. This is a hard sound at the end of the word. Uhwa tlak. Uhwa tlak.
Uhwa Kluk.
So I'm looking at this symbol here. Well, I'm actually looking at a couple different things here. So this symbol that looks kind of like a question mark without a dot at the bottom, this is a glottal stop. So this is similar to the previous video we saw with the apostrophe. It's basically a closure of your your vocal cords. So their language looks to be, this is DT dot, and it looks very similar to Haisla, where we begin words with a glottal stop in front of a vowel. So there's a glottal stop and then a vowel. Then there's an X. They use a small raised W like we do in Haisla, which means you round this X sound. So the X is h, and then the W is, you add the W, you get h. And then there's another glottal stop here, so you end it there, there's a pause. This symbol here is called a barred lambda, and it makes a tl sound, like a T and an L together. Tluk. Uhwa tluk.
We want to have that word normalized everywhere, because whenever you go into grocery stores, restaurants, or see people on the streets, you hear people saying hola and aloha, hello. So just to have it normalized and be in there with all the other languages, uhwa tluk,
Uhwa tluk.
uhwa tluk.
I'm also paying attention to the accent. Uhwa tluk.
Night Squale. My name is Jesse Ricalma from the Qualicum First Nation, and we're working on a project right now within our community to revitalize the Puntlitch language. And the phrase I want to share with you guys today is Wailup alats o chquanamet.
Wailup ala. T'o t'ut kunamet. I'll have to listen to that again.
Wailup alats o chquanamet.
Wailup ala. T'o t'ut kunamet.
And it translates as let us go and help. And so we're working on this project here within our community to revitalize a language that's been listed as, in some cases, as extinct, in other cases as a sleeping language. And so each little bit that we learn and we share and we build connections between each of our different phrases amongst the different Salish languages sort of helps us rebuild and reconstruct and put together the pieces of the puzzle that our ancestors had left for us. And so Wailup alats o chquanamet is a way of encourage everyone, let us go help. Let us go and help. Wailup alats o chquanamet.
Wailup ala. T'o kunamet. So I'm looking at a couple of different things. This A and Y says I, so Wailup ala. This C with a little curve underneath, that seems to be a CH ch sound, so cho. This C, regular C, it sounds like a TS sound like we have in the Haisla language. T. And there's no vowel in between the C and the T, so it just goes t, 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 t. So it's voiceless, I believe. I'll have to listen to that again. And then kunamet. Wailup ala cho tit kunamet. I think I don't have the accent right there, but that's basically the way it sounds.
And so it's a way of getting out and helping in whatever way we can, because this language work is really important work, but it also requires the hands of everyone who can help in order to keep this project alive. So hoichapka siyam na squalmu.
All right, so that is the video. I think I did pretty well. Kind of struggled a little bit with that last one, but with enough practice, I would be able to pronounce that a lot better. So that's this video. I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could pronounce words in languages that I'm not familiar with and pronounce words or phrases that I had not heard before. And yeah, again, I think I did pretty well. And I'm using the knowledge that I've gained in learning Haisla and Kwakwala, and also Chinook jargon. I've studied, those are the three main languages that I study. I kind of dabble in other languages. There's a lot of other, especially Northwest Coast languages, that I've taken brief looks at. So I learn a little bit with each language that I kind of just briefly take a look at. So with more practice, I would get better at speaking those words. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the future, and along with continuing to study and practice the other three languages that I'm focusing on. So hopefully that was helpful to you, and I think it shows that you can learn a language if you really set your mind to it, and if you have a good foundation of other languages, and especially in terms of the sounds and being able to associate sounds with symbols. That is a really handy tool to have, and it's something that I have at my disposal, and I can use that in learning other languages. So